With the Knicks season finally over, they've been tied to several names as free agency approaches. According to Bleacher Report, Kendrick Nunn of the Miami Heat is currently on the Knicks' radar. He's coming off his rookie contract, so he'll likely be a restricted free agent as long as the Heat extend a qualifying offer. So how good is Kendrick Nunn, and should the Knicks sign him? Let's talk about it. But before we continue, if you like content like this, please like the video and subscribe, as your support is very much appreciated. Now let's get started. Kendrick Nunn was one of the biggest surprises of last year's rookie class. He was an undrafted player, yet he not only made all-rookie first team, but he finished second in Rookie of the Year voting behind Ja Morant. He immediately got off to a hot start, averaging 22 points per game in the first 5 games of the season. He eventually cooled off, but he proved to be a valuable rotation player as a scorer for a Miami Heat team that got all the way to the finals last year. This season, Kendrick Nunn managed to get even better. He averaged 15 points per game this season, which is the same as last year, but his efficiency got way better. He finished this year with a true shooting percentage of 60%, which is excellent. The main strength of Nunn's game is that he's a very good scorer on all 3 levels. He shot a really good 38% from 3 this year on 6 attempts a game. He's really good at breaking down defenders off the dribble to get to the basket or to get to his mid-range pull-up. While he is a good scorer, he lacks the playmaking skills that you ideally would want to see in a starting point guard, evidenced by his low assist average, and he also isn't a very good defender. What's also of note is that while he is a second-year player, he is 25, so he's likely a lot closer to his peak than a typical NBA sophomore. So now that we have a good idea of his game, does he make sense as a pickup for the Knicks? Well, in many ways, we can see how he could be a good fit as a starter. The Knicks started Elfrid Payton all year, who became unplayable once the playoffs rolled around. Payton's complete lack of a 3-ball makes him a liability. Nunn is a good knockdown shooter, so he would provide much more spacing on the court, and he would also give the Knicks much more of a scoring punch as a starting point guard. While Nunn is good, I don't necessarily see him as a starting point guard that takes the Knicks to the next level as a team and helps them to get out the first round. As stated before, he doesn't really bring much playmaking to the table, and he isn't much of a defender. This is also the second straight year that Nunn's role and numbers have diminished in the playoffs for the Miami Heat. He is a good scorer, but he's not a great scorer that'll play well against elite defenses that game plan against him in the playoffs. And since the only thing he brings at a high level is scoring, that's why his minutes get reduced in the playoffs, and the Heat prefer to roll with Goran Dragic as their starting point guard. Ideally, Kendrick Nunn wouldn't be a starting point guard on a contending team in my opinion. A true contender would put him in a 6-man role and utilize him as a spark plug off the bench, similar to that of a Lou Williams. So while Nunn would probably be an upgrade over Elfrid Payton, I think there would be better options at point guard for the Knicks in free agency. According to Bleacher Report, Nunn could command up to $15 million a year in free agency. To me, that's too much money to commit to a player who likely isn't the long-term solution at point guard, but again, that's just my opinion. I would like to hear what you guys think. What do you think of Kendrick Nunn's game? Should the Knicks sign him in free agency? Tell me in the comments. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you want more dope content like this, and enjoy the rest of your day.